Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And from there, so basically we'll do a create, and we'll do a update, delete, and we'll also work with the depends on clause. All right, so on the left I have Azure pulled up, and on the right is our Terraform code. So it's a little different from the older videos, but it's generally the same thing. We're creating a resource group and a network and a subnet and a network interface card, and we're creating the actual virtual machine. We can also create a security group if we want to. I have that commented for now. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and create these resources, and we'll go from there. Run Terraform. We'll do Terraform plan, so we get an idea of what it's going to create and so forth. It's a good habit to get into, at least in the beginning. So Terraform plan, and what we'll do is instead of just having it spit it out in the terminal, we'll plan it out to a file. So we'll do VM plan. Just do today's date, 15.ans, and we'll wait for the plan to finish. The .ans is an extension for it's ANSI colors extension. So if you download this and you use the .ans extension, you'll be able to see your output in a nice format instead of all jumbled up. So if we go here, so this is what it looks like when you open it up, and you see what I mean. There's just weird characters in between the plan. So in this case, since you have that extension, you should have an icon at the top right here that says open preview to the side. Click on that and you get a cleaner version because of that extension. And we can double click that to keep it open. We can close the old one and just drag it into this area. And so if you're in a larger company and the Terraform plan is huge, this is very helpful because the file is able to capture all that in the output. It cuts it off and you won't be able to really tell what's changing. And one other trick I will say is if it's a huge plan and you're like trying to look through it, the best way to get to the top of the plan is just doing a search on Terraform. If I can spell. Just type in Terraform will, and it takes you to the top of the Terraform plan. Just some quick tips. And so it looks like it's going to create all the resources that we want. I always look at this at the bottom. 5 to add, 0 to change, 0 to destroy. And always be cautious when you see any number amount to destroy, at least if you're working with production or work situation at your workplace. So you want to definitely review that plan really well if you do see that. But other than that, if you have changes and you have additions, you just want to review it, make sure that is what you're expecting. And so since we reviewed the plan, we'll go ahead and apply it. So you just do Terraform apply, hit enter. So it's going to run through the plan again, and it will prompt you to say yes or no. So we'll just say yes since we already reviewed the plan. And we will wait for it to create our resources in Azure. All right, so it looks like it completed. So apply complete, 5 resources added, 0 changed, and 0 destroyed. So let's go ahead and look at our Azure account here, and we'll refresh. And we'll go to resource groups. And here's our resource group, so we'll click on that. And we have our VM right here, and we have the disk, we have the NIC, and the network. If you click on the network, that's where your subnet is. So your subnet will be in here, and that is the IP that it will use, or one of the IPs from that range. It'll use it in your VM here, and here's the IP. So we have the resources created, and what we'll do next is we'll do an example of an update. So we'll update something and see if it updates here. Okay, so let's try adding the security group. So save that, and we'll do the apply. It should only be one change. Everything else is the same. So we'll wait for that. And it should be one to add, and it is your security group. So we'll say yes. All right, so that completed. So one resource added. We'll go ahead and go to our resource group here, and looks like we have the network security group. Click on that, and you'll see that port 22 should be allowed. Yeah, so port 22 is allowed, and so we have the change that we made. All right, so let's go ahead and now that we're done with it, let's say we're done using this resource group and we don't want it anymore. We want to go ahead and delete it. So we can do Terraform destroy, and it'll delete that resource for us. And we'll do Terraform destroy. We'll run that. And it should run and ask us if we want to do it or not. If we want to destroy it, just wait. There we go. So it's going to say, 0 to add, 0 to change. Since we're doing a destroy, it's going to say destroying, basically all of the resources. Since we didn't specify any other criteria, we're just destroying the whole resource group. So if you basically look through that, it will just say destroy on each of the resources. So we'll say yes, and we'll wait for it to destroy our resources for us. All right, while that's running the delete, let's talk about the depends on. So let's see here. So the depends on allows you to, Terraform already knows which resources to create first and which resources come after that. Sometimes you'll run into errors where it's not able to do it properly. So it's better to explicitly just put a depends on. So you obviously don't want the subnet created before the network, right? So you want to put a depends on to the resource that's creating that network first. So you basically take the first portion of that, the resource name, and then your local identifying name. So you put that with a period in the middle around these brackets. And you can do multiple depends on by doing a comma and then another resource if there's another resource that you want completed before you have this resource start to get created. So in this case, I put that on the subnet and I put it on the NIC. So I want those created afterwards, and don't know if I put, so obviously you want the VM to get created after the network. So I put that also on the actual VM resource as well. So if you run into issues where resources are not getting created, or you're getting errors saying resource was not available while trying to create this, then in most cases it's trying to create something while it's creating something else which it needs as a dependency. So try using a depends on, and that should resolve your issue. All right, looks like the delete failed and it wasn't able to delete the disk. And basically, a feature in Terraform to avoid unintentional destruction of nested resources. Basically, for that resource, we would have to define, prevent deletion if contains resources. Set a flag for that so that it knows it's okay to delete it. So it also even gives you an example here. So I'll go ahead and delete that manually this time. All right, so that's it for managing resources. I'll see you in the next one.